For every senior, 6 things to keep between you and God. By the time you reach 55, 65, or even 75, life has carved its wisdom into you like the rings inside a mighty oak. You've weathered storms, seen seasons come and go, and learned sometimes the hard way that not everything you know or feel belongs in the open. There's a certain strength in privacy, a quiet kind of power that comes from holding some things close to your chest. It's not about secrecy for the sake of being secretive. It's about protecting the parts of your life that are too precious, too vulnerable, or too easily misunderstood to be left at the mercy of other people's opinions. The truth is, words once spoken can't be taken back. Trust once broken rarely returns in its original form. And dignity once compromised takes a lifetime to rebuild. In this chapter of life, you've earned the right to speak less and mean more. You've earned the right to choose your audience carefully, to measure your words with the wisdom of someone who knows how easily they can be twisted or used against you. Not because you're fearful, but because you value peace more than you value the temporary relief of getting it off your chest. This is the beauty of seasoned years. You no longer need to prove yourself to the world. You know what matters. You know that the freedom to live well often depends on the discipline to keep certain truths locked away. And you understand that the most powerful people in any room are often the ones who speak the least. Today, we're going to talk about 6 specific things, deeply personal things that once shared with the wrong person can change your life in ways you might never expect. Not to scare you, but to remind you, your story is yours, and you get to decide who earns the privilege of hearing it. Number 1. Your financial details and assets. Money is one of the quickest ways to change how people see you. Sometimes for the better, but often for the worse. By the time you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you've worked decades to build what you have. Your savings, your home, your investments, and even your monthly income are the result of years of sweat, sacrifice, and careful choices. That's why protecting your financial details is not just a matter of privacy, it's a matter of safeguarding your independence. In America, seniors are a prime target for scams, identity theft, and manipulation. But it's not always strangers who pose the risk. Sometimes it's people who know you, friends, neighbors, or even family, who begin to see dollar signs instead of seeing you. It may start innocently enough. A question about your retirement plan, curiosity about how much your home is worth, or casual talk about your monthly social security check. But the more you share, the more vulnerable you become. It's not about assuming bad intentions in everyone. It's about acknowledging that money changes dynamics. If someone knows your exact net worth, it can lead to subtle shifts, a sense of entitlement, jealousy, or the quiet calculation of how they might benefit from your generosity. In some cases, it creates an open door for pressure, guilt trips, or opportunities that are really traps. Your financial situation is your business. Even well-meaning relatives don't need a complete breakdown of your bank accounts, investment portfolios, or insurance benefits. The less people know, the less room there is for misunderstanding or misuse. Share financial details only with those who truly need to know, like your financial advisor, your spouse, or the executor of your estate, when the time is right. Privacy in money matters isn't selfish. It's wisdom. It means you're protecting not just your assets, but also your peace of mind. And that, in your later years, is worth more than any check you could write. Number 2, your family's private conflicts. Every family has its challenges. Maybe it's a strained relationship with one of your children, a disagreement over a wedding, or tension that's lingered for decades. The older you get, the more you've likely seen that family bonds can be both the greatest source of comfort and the deepest source of heartache. But one thing remains true. Airing private conflicts outside the family rarely leads to healing. It often makes wounds deeper. It's tempting to vent when you're hurt, frustrated, or disappointed. You might feel justified in sharing what happened with a friend, a neighbor, or even on social media. But once your private matters are public, they take on a life of their own. People will form opinions without hearing the full story. They will remember the drama long after you've moved past it. And sometimes those words meant in a moment of emotion become permanent in someone else's mind. In American culture, where gossip travels fast and opinions are often shaped by partial truths, protecting your family's dignity is a form of love. This doesn't mean you should suppress your feelings or ignore hurtful situations. It means choosing your confidence wisely, seeking counsel from people who care more about resolution than entertainment. When you keep family conflicts within trusted circles, you give space for healing. You avoid adding the weight of public perception to an already heavy situation, and you model something powerful for younger generations, that loyalty and discretion are worth more than the momentary satisfaction of telling your side. Some matters are too fragile to survive the harsh light of public scrutiny. Protecting them is not about hiding shame. It's about creating an environment where forgiveness, understanding, and love can grow without interference. Your family story is complex, precious, and unique. Guard it, not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. Number 3, your medical vulnerabilities. By the time you reach your 50s, 60s, or 70s, it's natural to a medical history that's longer than it once was. Maybe you've dealt with surgeries, chronic conditions, or serious diagnoses. These are not just medical facts, they are deeply personal chapters of your life. And while there are times when sharing health information is necessary, there are just as many times when keeping it private is the wiser path. In America, seniors often find that once people know too much about their health, they start to look at you differently. Sometimes it's pity in their eyes, sometimes it's doubt about your ability to manage your affairs, and sometimes, whether they mean to or not, they start treating you as fragile. This shift can be subtle, but it can also be disempowering. There's also a darker side. Certain predators deliberately target older adults who appear vulnerable, seeing illness or limited mobility as an opportunity. If your medical struggles become widely known, you could unintentionally draw the attention of people who want to exploit your situation, whether financially or emotionally. Even among well-intentioned acquaintances, your health challenges can become a topic of gossip, overshadowing the rest of who you are. That's why it's important to share selectively. Of course, your doctors, your spouse, or a trusted emergency contact should know the full picture. But beyond that, be mindful. Not every friend, neighbor, or extended relative needs details about every diagnosis or symptom. Share what you feel comfortable sharing. But remember, your health is not a public report, it's your personal journey. When you protect your medical privacy, you're not hiding from reality. You're choosing to live on your own terms. You're making sure that people see you for the person you are, not just the condition you carry. And that is a form of strength that no illness can take away. Number 4, your will and estate plans. Before the right time. Talking about what happens after you're gone is never easy. But as you grow older, it becomes an important part of planning. Your will, your estate plans, your beneficiary choices, these are deeply personal decisions. And while it might seem like sharing them early will bring peace of mind, in reality it can sometimes do the opposite. In American families, especially in an era of blended families, stepchildren, and second marriages, money and inheritance can stir strong emotions. When relatives know the details of your will before the time comes, it can change how they treat you and how they treat each other. Jealousy, entitlement, and resentment can grow in the shadows of early disclosure. Suddenly, kindness might be mistaken for strategy, and every family gathering can carry an unspoken tension. It's not just about money, it's about relationships. Prematurely revealing your estate plans can create a sense of competition among loved ones. Even if no one says it out loud, it can shift the family dynamic in ways that are hard to reverse. That's why, in most cases, it's wiser to share these details only when it's absolutely necessary and only with those who need to know, such as your attorney, your executor, or a trusted financial planner. You can, of course, express your values and wishes to your loved ones in broader terms, but the exact numbers and arrangements don't need to be a family discussion years in advance. Keeping your estate plans private until the right moment isn't about being secretive. It's about preserving harmony. It's about allowing your relationships to be built on love, not expectations. And in the end, it ensures that your final gift to your family is one of peace, not division. Number 5. The regrets and mistakes of your past. By the time you've lived 6 or 7 decades, you've gathered more than just stories. You've gathered scars. Some are lessons you're proud to share, but others still carry the weight of regret. Mistakes made in youth, wrong turns in relationships, financial missteps, missed opportunities. These are a natural part of any long life. But here's the truth. Not every chapter of your past needs to be opened for public reading. When you share your deepest regrets with the wrong audience, you risk having your life reduced to those moments alone. People can take your mistakes out of context, twisting them into a definition of your character instead of a single page in your story. Some might even use them as leverage, consciously or unconsciously, to judge or control you. In America's culture of confession and tell-all conversations, it's easy to feel pressured to bear everything, especially in moments when someone else is being vulnerable. But wisdom means knowing when your truth will inspire and when it will simply be consumed as gossip. The difference is often in who you're speaking to and why. This doesn't mean you should never share your past. There are times when your hard-won lessons can guide a grandchild away from a similar mistake, or help a friend make a better choice. The key is in choosing moments where your words will plant seeds of growth, not weeds of judgment. Your past belongs to you. It shaped you, but it does not define you. Some regrets are best left between you and God, or you and the handful of people who have truly earned the right to know. Because when you protect those private truths, you keep your dignity intact and your story in your own hands. Number 6. Your future fears and weaknesses. Fear is a quiet shadow that follows all of us, especially in the later years. Maybe you worry about outliving your savings, losing your health, or facing loneliness. These concerns are real, and it's natural to have them. But sharing them widely can sometimes do more harm than good. When you voice your deepest fears to the wrong people, you open a door to pity, manipulation, or unnecessary worry. Some might start treating you as fragile. Others might try to solve your life without truly understanding you, and a few sadly may see those vulnerabilities as an opportunity to influence your decisions for their own benefit. In American society, where seniors already face stereotypes about being dependent or less capable, sharing too much about your anxieties can feed into those biases. You've spent a lifetime building your independence. It's worth protecting that perception along with your peace of mind. That doesn't mean you should carry your fears alone. Trusted advisors, spiritual mentors, or close family members who have proven themselves loyal are the right places to lay down those burdens. In the safety of such relationships, your fears can be met with genuine support, encouragement, and solutions. Your later years can be a season of great courage. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing carefully where you place it. You get to decide who hears your weaknesses and you get to decide how they are framed. By keeping your future worries in the hands of those who truly care, you protect your dignity while still giving yourself the gift of support. Conclusion: the power of guarded wisdom. There's a quiet strength in knowing what to say and what to keep to yourself. By the time you've reached your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you've learned that life's most valuable treasures aren't always the ones you can hold. They're the stories, truths, and moments you choose to protect. Guarding your financial details keeps you safe from exploitation. Protecting your family's private matters preserves relationships. Holding back on your medical vulnerabilities shields you from being defined by illness. Keeping your will and estate plans private until the right moment maintains harmony. Choosing wisely which regrets to share spares you from judgment. And keeping your fears in trusted hands allows you to live with dignity and hope. This isn't about hiding. It's about living wisely. It's about preserving peace, dignity, and the freedom to write the final chapters of your life on your own terms. You've already lived through enough storms. You don't need to invite new ones by giving away pieces of yourself to those who haven't earned that trust. As you move forward, remember, your voice is powerful. Your silence is powerful too. And the most seasoned kind of wisdom is knowing when to use each. Let your later years be defined not by what you give away carelessly, but by what you guard fiercely, because your story is worth protecting.